Welcome back, beer tubers. Time to take a look at the latest collaboration beer from the Bruery. This is Mrs. Stoutfire, a collaboration with Beachwood Brewing out of Long Beach. If you haven't heard of them, they're doing some fantastic beers up there. Actually, they're killing it. I've had some of their beers. Excellent stuff. So I'm looking forward to trying Mrs. Stoutfire. It's an imperial smoked stout aged on wood chips. So they actually took 3 types of different wood that they use at the Beachwood barbecue, which is their first location that doesn't have the brewery, and took the wood they usually would use in the barbecue, smoked the malt, then took that wood and aged the beer on it. So it's 9.5%. Poured out pretty dark. Let's give it a swirl. It's got a good amount of carbonation, nice light tan head. Let's get the nose. Oh yeah, there's a lot coming through on this in terms of like a smoky character and then just a malt character. I get some nice sweet notes. I'm guessing there's some oak in there. That's an easy one for me to kind of pick out. Maybe a little bit of like a mesquite character. I'm not sure what the 3 woods are, but getting that kind of definitely that smoky nose. It's got that dark, really roasty character to it. Some really bitter dark chocolates kind of buried in there. The smoke is pretty prominent. Getting a little bit of a fruity note, maybe like a darker berry. It's kind of buried in there as well. But yeah, the smoke tends to dominate this beer. So let's dig in. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Huh, it's not as bitter as I thought it was going to be, based on that big roasted kind of dark burnt espresso note. Really smooth and creamy mouthfeel. 9.5%. Not detecting any alcohol first sip. It's not overly smoky too, so if you hate smoked beers, this one's, it's got more subtle smoke character, and it's good, and you got that wood element in there. Helps out nicely. Big sweetness to it as well. The first half of this beer is really on the sweeter side. Big sweet caramel notes, a little bit of sweet bread in there, and then it becomes a little more of like a milk chocolate character in the middle, and then it fades away, and then you get a little more balance coming in the back end. You have a lot of you have the alcohol, the tannin character from the wood, and some of those darker malts helping balance out the beer. It doesn't really, it finishes on the dry side for 9.5% for sure. So it's got pretty good balance overall. The first half very creamy too. I wonder if they're using a lot of oats in this or not, but really nice mouthfeel. Pretty much pretty full bodied for sure. And the back end is where that sort of semi-sweet chocolate starts to go bitter chocolate, and then you get a lot of roasted character. Then there's a lot of complexity in the smoky, woody aspect in the back end. That kind of every sip you get something a little different. Like sometimes you're getting like the sort of like a mesquite-like smokiness. Other times you're getting that typical sort of just oak character, just that kind of raw wood. A little bit of tannin character, but not overly tannic at all, which is nice. And it just adds a nice kind of earthy element to the back end of the beer as well. I'm not really getting like a ton of vanilla, but there might be a little bit of that kind of vanilla character in there. Not a whole lot, but just it adds a lot of complexity to the back end of the beer. The more I drink it, start to pick up more of like a Beachwood type character, trying to get that campfire. Not so much bacony like some of those German beers get, but just real nice subtle smokes. It's not, I like smoked beers. I think if you're not a huge fan of them, you still might like the stout because there's so much other flavors going on. The smokiness is definitely prominent towards the back end. I'm going to be really curious to see how this beer ages. It's got some good sweetness in there, and that smoke character might kind of fade a bit and then come back. And yeah, this is it's really well done. This is really enjoying beer. This is a great beer to pair with food. I wish I had some barbecue to eat right now with this. This is a great stout for that. So overall, I'm really liking this beer. It's excellent. I like the smoked beers. The smoke's not too prominent in the beer. It's not covering up a lot of flavors. You know, the woods they use add a unique blend, so it's got a little bit of uniqueness, something a little different from some of the other imperial stouts out there. And it's just really well done. It's got all the big flavors you want in the imperial stout. You know, your darker chocolate characters, your big roasty character, sweet caramel notes. It's got all that, you know, a little bit of fruitiness in there as well. So, man, I can't wait to see how this ages as well, and I recommend getting it if you can find it. It's Mrs. Stoutfire from the Bruery and Beachwood Brewing. Check out Beachwood Barbecue and or the Beachwood Brewery. Both excellent spots if you're up in the Long Beach area of California. So that's going to wrap it up. Until next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.